Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. So, I'm gonna do a little flip through this morning. Morning for me, whatever time of day it is for you. These are some journals that I have just hanging out here, and I'm gonna do, they're all similar, obviously not identical. They're kind of like a simple kind of starter beginner journal or fun thing to chuck into your purse or bag or whatever to travel with, something to work on, give you some space for some creativity with some extra little bonus fun things in them. So these will be available on my Ko-fi. So if you take a peek at my Ko-fi site, I have a little shop there. And if you're interested in any of these little friends, that's where you can find them. So I will have a link down in the description box if you're interested in any of these fun little friends. So, like I said, they're not identical, but they are all similar. I had some really fun fabrics. I have this really cute mushroom fabric. I have this kind of brown paisley. This one I think is really fun. It's got some slight iridescence in the little dandelion puffs. Another fun little cheeky mushrooms. I have two of these left. And then this kind of fall leaves, but in this gorgeous pastel. So I think I've probably shown a little bit here and there in at least the mushroom one, because that one is the one I tend to grab quite often to show how to put pockets into things. So we're just going to use this friend today. So these have an elastic on them, and they are fabric covered, stitched around the edge, fabric on the inside, and this signature, as you can see, I'll pull this out, these come completely out of the cover, so you could refill them with some other things as well. So this is just an elastic. If you don't like elastic, you could always replace the elastic with some lace or something else fun, up to you. But let me talk about these fun books that I have made, these journals. So they have a tie closure just with some seam binding, whatever I find I have around. You know, I upcycle a lot of things. So here we go. These set of journals that I have here have a little bit more interesting paper that I've made. So this is some of my eco dye. So eco dyed paper here. This is from a vintage Ideals magazine. And I have some folded in little tuck spots already. This is coloring book. This is coffee dye on kind of whatever I had. So there's kind of some fun things there. And then we have, I'll go through the ephemera here because I have tucked some ephemera into each of these as well. So they all, once again, similar, not identical, because when you're doing junk journals, nothing is ever going to be identical, but they will be similar. So this is atlas, some atlas page that I've just folded to make an extra big pocket. And then tucked in there, I have some sort of interesting card and some pockets. So this is one of my tab or my folded pocket tags. Oh my goodness, words apparently today. So from some sort of a plant book, and then a very nice little journaling card that I've made from some masterboard and decorated. So there are some things in here that I have specifically made to be tucked into these little friends. Then here we have a folded pocket that's ready to get decorated and added someplace into the journal, wherever you'd like. And then another little journaling card, probably from some sort of recycled thing, some kind of fun sticker or a couple stickers. There might be those kind of vibes in there. Then we have some plain paper, at least on one side, but this has kind of a tree motif on it. We have some vintage plant papers, some more coloring book that is kind of woodland themed. As you can see, I kind of make these journals to kind of go along a theme too, to kind of fit whatever I have with the cover. This is coffee dye, some of my coffee dye that I've done on old book page. A children's dictionary page here. Then on this page, I have clipped in a little scrappy notebook. So some little fun scraps that you can add in with a cute little clothespin. So that's that. Each one of them has one of those. And some fun paper. This is from a cookbook. Then we have an envelope that is a page. Another sort of encyclopedia, and this one is talking about the anatomy of plants. Then another big sheet of eco dye. So this is one of my really pretty, I love how these eco dyed plants turned out that I did. So I really love this page. I am not sure what this plant in particular was. It was probably some kind of weed or something. So here you can see the stitched edge of the signature. So little threads there that you could add some charms to or something to make it fun. And then each of these have one of my big fun envelopes that I've made, and I tuck a couple more things in. So this one has a piece of fancy paper and a vintage little, this is from the Wisconsin Dells, I think. Yeah, on the lower dells of the Wisconsin River. So it's like one of those little vintage tourist little things. So I tucked one of those in there for that one. On this one, I thought the purple for this one kind of went with the pattern and theme for this book. But you can see they're all going to be slightly different and kind of go along as much as I can with what I have. And so then we can see the last parts, the other sides of this one in particular. So there we go. Same thing that we saw in the beginning, nothing really different, but you can see the other side of the eco dye, plants, the everything. And then here we go is our other big pocket, and then I have something else tucked in here. So I have another sort of like a card or something interesting that I thought would be fun. And these I cut to make them look like they were like old Polaroids. So they might have some of these in there, they might not. It really depends on the book and what I have handy. And then this is another pocket. So this is another pocket that I have made that you can add to your journal wherever you would like. And then a vintage tally sheet for some kind of card game, I think bridge, and then some sort of fun little cute paper, another little sticker in here, and then a little fun cluster on a tiny piece of a tiny cookbook that I had, and then I made little clusters on them because I thought they were really cute, and I tucked that in. So that is in there as well. And I think I did a count, so you get at least 15 pieces of like ephemera or an item that's added in to the book. And then there's a couple of spots that have like folded pockets or folded tucks or something like that too. So, and then the other piece of eco dye. So that is how these little friends work here. I'll show another one really quick just to kind of give you an idea of how similar they really are. Because when I make these, I make a few at a time because it's easier to make a few rather than just one at a time. For me, at least, it's more fun. So these two, just to let you know, see the difference. So this one has red inside and this one has pink inside. This has a yellow tie. This has an orange tie. So that's the difference between the covers on these friends. This has a green little band. This one has like a teal band. So let's look at this one really quick. It's like I said, you're going to see that it's quite similar. So eco dye. There's one of the, and they're going to be in a different order from the other book, but that just, they have the same types of pages. So coffee dye, here's one of those. And like this one has same style pocket, just in a different size. So this is from a rose book. So cute little animal card. One of those that looks like a Polaroid. And then this one has like a little postcard kind of thing tucked in there. So that's what is in that one's pocket. And then moving on, we have some kind of an envelope, little same thing, little shabby notebook. Same sort of pages. You can see very similar in type and design and everything. So they are similar but different. Here is the center of this one. Here's the fun little pocket that is with this, or envelope. They all got one of these envelopes. And then here we go. Here's that tally sheet. There's a couple of stickers in there, and then there's some sort of a vintage book page. So that one has that vintage book page tucked into there. Let's tuck those friends back in. And then we'll keep moving on here really quick, just to kind of give you an idea of the, yeah, they really are similar, but not identical. This is a good page. Really fun things. Some of the pages I do like that. This I still count as one page, just to let you know. And then another envelope, another sheet like that. And then here's our back. So here's that other round pocket. Here's our little one of those with its journaling card tucked in there with some vintage fabric. And same thing, fun little cards that I've cut up for whatever purpose, little book page. Another little piece of paper in there. It's just kind of whatever size pocket I think will fit, and what I have for tags when I put these guys together. So there you go. And this beautiful, beautiful eco die on there as well. So there you go. You have an idea that they really are similar, but different. And they all have lots of space and places for fun for you to be able to utilize. So anyway, there is a bunch of these. These are going to be up on my Ko-fi for you to take a peek at if you're interested in buying any of these friends. And like I said, there are 6 of these, and they are all similar yet different. So go ahead and check it out. And also, I hope you're inspired to make something, do something wonderful today. And don't forget, art with your heart. You have a fantastic day.